Hello. Alright, Dude, we have no theme for this podcast.
It's all good. I don't feel like we need one, really.
My viewers are gonna...
What viewers, bro?
Yeah.
Fuck you talking about? Oh my god.
I do want to learn about how you did, like, your Openclaw setup, if we can start out by talking about that.
Yeah.
Just like what you started out with, your current point and future goals, and how long it took you, I guess.
Like it hasn't. I mean, again, as I said before, I don't really have a very sophisticated configuration. Like there's really nothing. I've made virtually no modifications. Like, I think I connected my Gmail. I connected like Google Calendars. That's really right. And yeah, I mean, that's like pretty much it. What else did I do? So yeah, I did those two things, and then so you like basically have one agent. My understanding of it is you have one agent, and then I like created another one. And then I connected one of them to like Discord. I connected Discord, Telegram, WhatsApp, even Slack. Mm-hmm. So did like all those things. But yeah, I still maintain that it's not a sophisticated configuration at all.
That's kind of...
I think we should just try to get it set up.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah,
Maybe I get my laptop here.
Yeah, why not?
Should I restart the podcast?
Yeah, I mean, I think with the podcast,
just keep it rolling, right?
Yeah, so this is why I was advocating for the streaming, is because I think just in general, even aside from this podcast, frankly, like you're very like direct, like too direct sometimes when you want to set up this podcast and you have like this vision in your mind, I presume, and you're like, we need to do this and it needs to be talked about this and this and that. And I feel like for me, the whole appeal, I wonder how my audio is coming through. I feel like the whole appeal is that it's like free flowing, and that like come on, like we live in a society where there are so many rules, and we go to this place like this WeWork that we're in right now, and there's so many rules. Like there's like written rules, there's like unspoken rules, there's all these rules, and like this is the one scenario where, that's like, I think it's what is appealing about being a content creator, is that like, you can kind of make your own rules. Like we don't have to make the podcast doesn't have to be like structured in a specific way. We don't have to talk about this. We can do anything we want. We could make a podcast that's like silenced. Like, who's going to stop us?
It's not going to do well though. Like if it's a podcast that's just silenced.
Yeah. So you're trying to do well. What does that even mean?
I think there's some clear like guidelines to the way you
there's
should
not
operate.
Though. You don't. Says
there
who?
Are.
Says who?
It says fucking reality, just the way the world works.
What are you trying to accomplish? What are you're trying to get viewers?
I know what I'm not. I mean,
how many people?
I'm trying to relate to people.
Why?
I have to relate it back to people. Because otherwise, what is this podcast for?
I don't know what this podcast is for. It doesn't have to be for anything.
This is something for other people to view.
No.
Agree or disagree?
I disagree.
I mean, streamer starts a stream for other people to view it. Agree or disagree? A streamer is doing the shit for other people. He's not doing it for themselves, right? And
well, at the end of the day, I think they are doing it for themselves, but I don't.
Well, they need other people to watch them. The goal is for other people to watch your stream.
I just don't care. I don't care about that, really.
Then why stream?
Yeah, why stream?
You're trying to make it relatable to other people.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like entertaining for other people. People have to get something out of it.
Yes, but you're being way too direct about that. Like you're like, oh, we have to follow all these rules because people won't like it. Like I don't know. I'm fine like trying something, and like if they like it or they don't, I think the whole appeal of streaming, honestly, is that it's very free flowing and it's like
okay, I see what you mean.
Unstructured.
This goes along with...
That's what people like too.
Yeah.
That's why people like streaming. That's why you go watch a stream. You don't fucking go watch a television show.
Yeah.
Because you want to see something that's unstructured.
Yeah, and I think that goes with the way you are just as a person. You're very much anti-establishment, anti like rules.
Yeah, and you're not.
I think
you're the opposite.
No, I'm not the exact opposite. I would disagree. I don't think I'm like that.
Agree to disagree. For me, a podcast is like, again, it's like, why?
You wanted to do this fucking podcast, man. You were like podcast.
I do.
Now we're doing a podcast. What do you have?
I think we have different ideas of what a podcast needs to be. I'm not saying I don't want to do the podcast.
Form? What is a podcast to you? Is this a podcast currently?
We're recording it, so it's a podcast. I think
so. Podcast is anything that you're recording.
Yeah, I mean, the whole appeal for me to do a podcast or to stream is that I can do whatever the fuck I want. You know, like the podcast or the stream can be anything.
Yeah, I think that's very the youngest child of you.
You seem okay. You seem to be. That seems to bother you.
No, not really. I'm fine with it. I think we're.
You just like crashed out, dude.
I would like you to be yourself too.
I am being myself.
And that's great. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the issue?
There is no issue right now.
I think many people would agree that you seem to kind of have an issue with that.
Do I?
Seemingly, I mean, you just like flipped out because I wouldn't. Because I.
No. I
we're
think
not
we were
structuring this
about,
like what you believe podcast to be.
We were talking about.
But I mean, come on, Caleb. I mean, do you not agree with me that like you're?
Yeah,
being
we were
very
talking about that argument. We're not
no
talking
reason.
about what the problem this is. Like we're not talking about this.
But why are you constraining yourself so much? Like we need to do this. We need to do this in the podcast. Like obviously we don't have to do anything.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying we have to do this.
You just said that. You just said, oh, we gotta like record the podcast in this way. Like people
aren't
gonna like it.
In what way? What way have
I said get out your computer. We'll like set up Openclaw, and you're like, people aren't gonna like viewing that. That's essentially what you just said before.
It's
like
I don't know.
Caleb,
I'm trying to think
you're always
of what
like denying that you did this or that thing until I call you out on, and then you're like, okay, yeah, you're right. Like as if I'm gonna like forget what happened a second ago.
No, we can do that. There. We can do that. I just don't think people enjoy it.
Who cares though? I mean, who cares?
Do you not care that other people want to watch?
If I was, I want to create like content that I think is worthwhile, but for me, that doesn't necessarily look like I don't know, formatting it exactly as others have. As I tried to explain just like a few minutes ago, the whole point of like streaming is to kind of be able to do your own thing. I don't again, I feel like you're like, why even bother doing a podcast? Why bother using a new medium if you're just gonna again look at people who have done it and be like, okay, we must replicate them exactly. Like we must do, like you in your head have an idea of what a podcast looks like, and you're like, I need to replicate that exactly. Like it's just another way of conforming for you. Whereas other people, I think the reason they're drawn towards podcasts is because it's uncharted waters. And like, I mean, all that being said, like I understand people you want to do the podcast in a certain way. I understand that.
Well, I'm not looking to replicate anybody else's format.
You are though, subconsciously. I mean, you're like, if you saying that we're doing it in the wrong way implies that there's a right way to do it. I mean, everyone has their preferences.
there's a right way. I don't know how to describe this idea, but I'm not saying like the right way is just one particular way. We can do it other ways. It's just that the way your proposal doesn't seem so realistic, doesn't seem so reasonable. I'm just rejecting your proposal. I'm not saying like we have to do it anyway. I'm just saying your way.
You're saying we can't do it. You don't want to do it my way.
Huh?
You're saying you don't want to do it my way or what I propose. Or I don't. I mean,
I'm saying it's unconventional. I'm saying it's like not really. It doesn't really make sense to me. I feel like can you try to convince me that it makes sense or no? Like can you try to convince me?
I don't really care to try to convince you of anything or convince anyone of anything really.
Oh my God, Aiden.
What? Why must I convince you? Why must I do what you're asking me to do? I mean, you're the one who's kind of imposing your will or trying to impose your will onto me and saying there's rules.
In a way, this might be entertaining because we're just like arguing on this podcast. This is
what I really wanted to do is try to set up a stream or something. I mean, again, as you said before, there is no like script for this podcast. We can do whatever we want. Like we can just sit inside. Like I don't know. It's just my philosophy on like creating content. Like we can just sit in silence for like hours doing something, and like, and if people don't like that podcast, then it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Like,
When have you been starting to watch streaming content?
Yeah, pretty recently, honestly.
Like how recent?
Like a matter of weeks, probably.
Oh.
I just really would love to set up a stream. It's not so straightforward, and it's also something's happening.
Do we have a viewer?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
So what would be the point if you're doing streaming on your computer and we're like recording? We're technically like recording a podcast right now. The attention's on your stream and not the podcast anymore.
Yeah, but I don't even have the stream set up.
Yeah, so what are we doing here, Like, what are we doing?
What do you want to do?
I think we should have a conversation about certain topics.
All right, then let's have a conversation.
But is that like fucking rule following to have a conversation?
Yes, it
on
is.
a podcast?
Yes.
You want to be
Is that a crazy concept?
You want to be so free that you actually don't even know what you want anymore. That's your problem.
Well, I just don't need to like achieve any, like I don't have any like aspirations in this moment, or like aspirations for this podcast or whatever. Like, you seem to want to get some specific thing out of it, but I don't necessarily care, like.
You don't want to get anything out of this thing that you're trying to create.
No, well, I don't.
You want to create something, right? You want to create something valuable?
I could care less. Like, the value for me is like in the like in my enjoyment from doing it. The value is less in like the like product.
Are you going to enjoy it if it's not something valuable?
Yeah. Who's to say that it has value or not? And yes, I enjoy the moment. I don't even care about the product. At this moment in time, I think that podcasts are fun because thought-provoking, and like we sit down and we kind of make time to have the conversation, and we talk about interesting stuff. But
I am enjoying fuck the podcast right now. I am kind of enjoying like you listening to you talk about your ideas, even though you're like this little kid that wants to have his own thing and like crying about it. That's how I see you. Like, I want to be it my way. I don't want to follow any rules whatsoever. Even though that's what you're like, I'm like enjoying listening to you talk about your thing because you're my friend Aiden, and I like hearing about your ideas. So we could talk more.
Wait, someone? Oh my God! Is
someone joined? It's probably a bot.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
But I mean, it's a viewer nonetheless.
Okay.
Maybe I can just make my podcast like me showcasing my various idiosyncratic friends.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Is idiosyncratic the right word? I don't think it is. Or
no,
eccentric friends,
Yeah,
everybody's different. John's a certain way. You're a certain way. You're special in your own little way.
Why can't I change the language? Yeah, I mean, again, as I said before, I feel like you're just so direct about like things you want to accomplish. Like you're like, this is what the podcast, like you need to figure out what the podcast is before you start it. But I actually think it should be reverse. Like, just start doing the podcast and then you kind of figure it out as you go, or you don't have to like label it. I think that's a valid way
to look at it. I think it's a valid way to look at it. Not that I think it's the right way. I think it's a way to look at it that is very unconventional, and I appreciate you sharing that, your thoughts on that. So start doing it.
I don't even think it's that unconventional.
Start doing it first, right? And then
I mean, you don't just like, what are we even talking about? You're talking about your fucking YouTube channel, like. I mean,
we're talking about nothing right now.
I know, okay, but I don't like I don't understand how you're like worried about like your viewers when. I mean, you don't have any viewers.
But when we're talking, when you're saying words right now, you're imagining an audience, right? Are you imagining an audience looking at it?
Yeah, of course.
I think you are, yeah. And I can tell that you are.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, given that, the feeling that somebody is potentially watching, What? How do you act, and what do you do or say?
Are you asking me?
What topics do you talk about? That's what I mean when I say like I'm not that's what I mean when I say I'm thinking about what the audience's perception is.
Even though you don't have an audience.
Even though we don't have an audience, yeah.
Yeah, that's retarded.
You're fucking retarded, dude. Fuck you, man.
I mean, these people like literally don't exist. I knew it would evolve into this.
Open broadcaster software. I tried streaming me playing a video game once on PS5. I mean PS5, yeah.
You got banned.
No, I was playing Black Myth Wukong, and I streamed it the summer of 2024, I think. And that was a good time for sure. Some of my friends.
Did you stream it on Twitch?
Yeah, I streamed it on Twitch, and I used OBS. It's nice that PlayStation just has that built-in thing for you to stream on it. Not much of quality content we're producing right now, I say.
Yeah,
Maybe,
I mean that's entirely subjective, like.
Who's gonna think it's interesting? I'm trying to make it interesting by our interactions.
Why do you care to try to make it interesting?
Okay.
Why do you care?
I see. Yeah.
Who cares?
I'm not gonna. I'm just.
First of all, there's no one, and two, who cares like what these imaginary or even real people think? Like, yeah, I still think you should get your computer and we should try.
Yeah, let me get it.
To boot up Openclaw.
I just don't like the idea of me leaving the camera for so long, though, because I feel like it's a moment that other people would just click away. I'm thinking about views.
I don't understand how you're worried. How you're worried about views when you don't even have any viewers. God, imagine if you had any.
But you should act like you have.
Why?
Viewers, though, because you're trying to get viewers. I would like my channel to be viewed. I want to have a lot of viewers. I want to be a successful streamer.
Yeah. I think you're just like very inauthentic in that.
Inauthentic.
Yeah.
Do you think you're authentic, motherfucker?
I mean, in this sense, yeah, because I don't really care about. I don't care at all about what is good content. Like, I just don't understand what is even the point of streaming in that case. Like, if you're just trying to satisfy people, like, I don't know.
That's what that's what all streamers do, though. They're trying to like get views, no?
Okay, what does it matter what other people are doing?
It shouldn't. Yeah.
Like, why are you streaming? Or trying to record podcasts? I just don't even get it.
For myself, I guess, kind of.
Yeah, well, we both know that's not true, Caleb.
That's a good question, though.
It's very clearly not the case.
Also,
definitely getting a bit hungry, not gonna lie. Your password, okay.
Why am I doing this podcast? Well, I just like creating things, and talking about. I think core, it's like selfish, kind of like wanting to show the world that I'm having like productive conversations with people and stuff like that, or not productive, or like I think a lot or something. Trying to get the world to think positively of me. Trying to get people to think positively of me. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Probably the exact same reason. Like, I want to. It's fun interacting with people. Though. And,
yeah.
Like, I mean, I think there's just something very, like, kind of primal about wanting to, like, share your thoughts and share your ideas and share, like, what things you're working on. So, I think that's sort of, I don't know if it's, like, any more basic than that, sort of. So, that feels good. It's fun to share things. So, like, sharing my ideas and I mean, I feel like sharing what I'm working on with, like, Openclaw is, I think I get satisfaction out of that as well. But, this is why I'm pushing back on, like, all these rules you're imposing, because I don't know. I almost kind of feel...
What rules am I imposing, though?
Yeah. Well, you're saying that by saying like this, that we're not creating like productive or valuable content, you're effectively saying, you know, the content should be a certain way. It should be like, I don't know, like we have to be talking about certain subjects. It has to be novel. It has to be like, you know, groundbreaking or something. So I think you're kind of imposing all these rules. And, like, you think
Do you disagree with those rules? Doesn't have to be novel. I think we are having it.
I disagree? Yeah.
We're ironically having a novel conversation, I feel like.
Yeah. Do I disagree with those rules? Well, I don't think that there should be rules. So I guess, yeah, I just disagree with like your like ideology of imposing rules.
So you're an anarchist then? Sorry, I don't know if you want to be labeled actually. So maybe I would retract that statement, knowing you, Aiden. Maybe I don't want to label you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I necessarily live up to like I don't think I'm I don't think I'm I don't think I can call myself an anarchist, but something like that.
Hi. Any luck with that?
No.
You know, Aiden, I actually do appreciate your perspective because I do think that in general I tend to want to act a certain way, like, and I care too much about what other people think. So I actually appreciate your views. Like, I think you're somebody who always has like a refreshing, like a very different take from what I'm used to. Like I care a lot about what other people think, and I want to not care as much, which is why I particularly value our friendship.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you have a very unique perspective as well. I just think you like have all these like guardrails in your mind of like what you need to do. I mean, I do too. Anyone does, but like, yeah. And I'm not saying I don't know. I'm not trying to be too critical of you, but yeah, that's my impression, especially like in this situation that you're confining yourself. You know, like at a certain point, like you're the one who's like reinforcing those laws and rules that you have to live by. But they were all, I think, you know, originally they're kind of externally like applied. And it does irritate me, like just that, like that fact about the world we live in, that there are so many rules. I'm tired of it. I need to add
I had a thought, but I lost it. It was something to do with the first thing that you said before. Oh yeah, I feel like we're going back, like somehow ironically going back into, like even though we started out with all that concourse back and forth and like clashing on our views on the podcast, somehow we managed to like converge somewhere where we're just having a conversation. But now, this is kind of what I thought about the podcast, like for it to be a little like discussion. Like now we have like certain things to talk about. I don't know.
I mean, I think we did before. You can. I think that the like talking points and the content will come. You know, I have no doubt of that. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Also, I feel like, you know, especially with podcasts, like why don't you just record a podcast, and if it's like shit, if there's no good content, then so be it. You know, you don't have to post it. You can do whatever you want with it. But like, it's a bit annoying that like again, you're telling me what I should do in the podcast. You know, it's like, why would I like that? You know, it's annoying, but. I feel like you're kind of being controlling, like, podcast has to be like this, has to be like that. Can I explain? Oh. It looks like you haven't added any video sources yet, so you will only be outputting a live stream. You can add sources by clicking on the plus icon under the sources box. That makes sense. And I think with I don't know, streaming, it does seem like simpler. It's just like turn on the stream and then like that's that. You just kind of let it go. I mean, I think the podcast. I mean, I guess you're kind of right. Like podcast generally, there is like structure, and you talk about things. So I mean, that is fair. I guess but I mean, I mean, it also is still true that you can kind of do whatever. I mean, if that's what you want to do, if that's what your goal is, then I guess that's fine. I understand. But I feel like if that's the case, then like if you want to talk about certain topics, then wouldn't you have prepared questions on those topics? I know I said before not to prepare anything, but I feel like you're like, I don't know. Also, if you want to talk about something like instead of saying to me we should talk about something, like just ask me about something now. We should try to set up Openclaw. Okay. Like I think the host, like it's a hostinger. Getting a hostinger VPS is a nice option. I mean, this is just like software engineering, you know.
Yeah. But there's so much. I think it's just making fun of how there's so many steps in setting up a VPS.
No, there's not. No, well, not if you do it on Hostinger. It's pretty simple, honestly. One click.
Now we're completely going off script. Like, I don't really care that anybody's watching anymore. Like, I'm just like doing whatever.
No one was watching in the first place. So, but I don't know, maybe we'll...
$149? Hell
That's
no.
for 24 months. Ah, fuck it. I'll just get this one, see if it works.
Send a screenshot of
these nuts, dude. That's all I'll send you.
And then be like, do I have testicular cancer?
I guess it's terminal. Go see someone else do it on YouTube and see what they do. Yeah, this is where you come in. There we go. Which one do you want?
Do I have to, bro? Oh, wait.
Well, wait. I don't want to.
Can you show me your setup, like how it works?
No, but like, okay, you don't have to do anything you don't want to, but like, don't you feel like $14? I feel like I need to stand up for some reason. Also, I'm so hungry, bro.
I'm gonna get food soon, yeah.
Yeah, we should. But like, I mean, I'm cheaper than you, and like, I'm happy to pay this. I feel like $14 to like test out like very groundbreaking technology. Like, it's very useful skill for you to have. I think. See, this is like actually, I feel like a shrewd investment of like your money. Like, it gives you access to be able to like understand like cutting edge technology. I don't work for Openclaw, but I actually feel very strongly that like, again, I'm as cheap as they come, but like, I think that this money is like money well spent. Like, I don't think you're gonna regret it, and I think that also, okay, forget like the fact that you will be understanding like the newest technology that exists in the entire world. Like, you'll also be able to automate like certain processes using Openclaw. Like, forget again the technical expertise that you gain by like kind of having this access, but like automating like email communications, like scheduling.
How does automating email communications look like for you? Can I see what it looks like?
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, what I'll do a lot of times, I'll just have it like, you know, of course, summarize my inbox, and then if there's kind of a simple reply I can send to someone, and I'll show you right now. But I guess I just rebooted my computer, so it's taking a bit. But yeah, I mean, why don't we I think the best way is to just maybe show you. So let's just say hello, see if it's on. So this is connected to my Hostinger VPS, and it's really like crucial because it's just, you know, I had it running Openclaw on like my own computer, but it's like, it doesn't make any sense because when I close my computer, I can't use it. But now it's always on. If I'm walking, I could even message it. Like I have the Discord app, so it's kind of nice. But okay, so I'm just gonna say summarize. This would be a thing that I actually feel like would be nice to like live stream, like showing people. Although you gotta worry about. Also, it's nice. I can be like, it's like, hey, you got an email that said like for an interview. Well, there you go. Already got rejected. For like an interview at this time, and I'm like, okay, can you create that event in my schedule, in my calendar, my Google Calendar? Like it creates it, like it's so quick. Have you ever used Whisperflow? Probably have.
Not really.
So it's pretty useful. I mean, it's just like, it's basically dictation, but kind of use it in like areas where you're not able to usually. So can you respond to Seth from Craigslist, just thanking him for replying to me and asking that he keep me in mind for future roles, or if it falls through with the person that he found. Okay, so it sent it. Did you schedule, is that event, like the interview with Chelsea, is that event in my Google Calendar? So it should already be in your calendar, except cars in it, which adds it automatically. Yeah, there you go. Also, it's definitely not perfect quotes, right? Okay, can you delete the email from GitHub, delete the emails from Supabase, delete the email from Seth, Sodalis, from Chelsea, from JP Morgan, from Firecall. Delete all those emails, please. Done. Okay, so let's see. Did I delete it? Yeah, say it's gone. Yeah, I mean, I might just like nuke all this. Can you clear my entire inbox, please? Anyway, want to set it up, shall we?
Yeah. How long does it take? Like an hour?
Not even.
Do I have to pay for this to do that?
Yep. What is $14? Like, it's nothing. You spend $14 on like food, more than that a day, or like for a single meal. I don't know. You don't think, I mean, you don't have to do anything you don't want to, but you don't think it's like good. Honestly, bro,
I want to be able to set it up good though. Like I feel like today is kind of like a whatever day.
But you can reset it up. You can like kind of wipe the slate clean. I mean, again, it's like, I think $14 is worth the knowledge that you'll gain from like even just dicking around with it. And then, I mean, $14 is just nothing.
Let's do it.
Is it not?
Yeah, I'm gonna put my actual
Wait,
address.
why? Don't even bother.
Huh?
Why bother?
Might as well set it up good, you know?
Okay, there we go. Yeah, we're in business. What do you want to name it? Sorry, I need to turn this off.
I don't know, test bot.
Yeah, one like central tenet of like software engineering is like reproducibility and immutability. Like it's much more worthwhile to like understand the process of like okay, so take like this Claude bot or Openclaw. Like you're very concerned about this one like deployment of it and like how this like one Openclaw like instance is like configured. But like what you should really understand better is like how to configure one, not how this like specific, like we can like power down this one and we create a new one like that. Like there, we live in a world of abundance, so there's no point even this, like, again, I can create a new one. I can just like create a new of like anything. So I think it's better to just try building something, and if it messes up, you can try again and build another one of that thing. Like another thing I would caution is that like anything, like when you get an access token, like in reality only you should have access to it, and once it is put anywhere, like certainly once Openclaw has it, like once you enter into an LLM, like if you were to look in like ChatGPT and you like entered it, well, you obviously have to change it. Like when that token is like no one else should have that token, including Openclaw, like token should only be on your computer. So just make sure for security purposes, like it's kind of contradictory because you have to like give it, if you want Openclaw to like set up that whole auth, you have to like give it to it. But I think there's, I think like store it, like maybe there's some way to kind of put in a file to access it. I just want to mention that, like, if you get all these tokens and like, that's why like that API key that I just sent you over WhatsApp, like obviously I need to like, exchange it now. I mean, I'm like not going to do it right now so you can
How
use
do
it
you
a bit.
remember all the things that you gave that token to?
Well, the point is you don't have to. I can just go to the like I don't have to remember wherever it is. I just go, I revoke it. Like I just go delete the token on my end, so it no longer has access to my resource, and then you create another one. See how it sees all your emails though.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? You don't seem that impressed. So generally with Anthropic, by the way, is like console.anthropic.com. You can see like manage your API keys and stuff. I think it's a useful thing to know. So I can look and like this is the amount of money that. So all of these prompts that we just did, all the interaction with Openclaw, it cost that much to use the Anthropic models. Just I don't know, just for reference. So I mean, it's not nothing. Like, look, I'm spending a shitload of money on this one. Like,
what is that one?
But that's like my main one.
Who's Albie?
I don't know. It's some random like name I put in a while ago into Anthropic.
And are you using it to like automate your? Do you have any automation going on too, like things that run?
And I used it to apply to like some jobs, and like search for jobs. I used it to like interface with like a Google Maps API and like search for like I think like restaurants or like establishments that didn't have a a website, I think, on their like Google Maps listing, something like that. Not like incredibly like complex things. Like I guess you can set it to like remind you of shit, like remind me at like 9 a.m. tomorrow or something. That's quite unreliable though, I found, but I want to keep on testing it out. I've used it for like development too. Like I've used it to like make changes to like program basically. The fact that you're using Openclaw to send emails I don't think it really changes like the efficacy of the emails. Like if I wrote those by hand, I still would get very little response from a cold email.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I honestly don't. I think that it's revolutionary in that way that like, I think it sends a fine email. Like it just like writes a regular sounding email and like, I don't know, like emails, they don't require, like most of them don't require much attention, It's just like, just trying to like convey some idea, some message, and it's pretty easy. It's pretty like simple task, Like I could have someone do that for me and they wouldn't have to have any like training or knowledge, I could just go up to like any random person and say like, hey, can you send this email for me that says, like send my resume to this person, like express some like interest. Say, I'm interested in this position. Anyway, though, it does it really well and does it like pretty quickly. Actually, I have had it do like I have asked it like this is just you can ask ChatGPT this, so there's nothing really specific about it. But like you could be like, oh, like every day like look up like the top 10 like the top 10 fastest cars. Like okay, that's a bad example because that's not going to change maybe, but like like scrape this like job board every single day and like. Give me like an itemized.
How does it have internet access?
It has internet access.
Hello. Okay, can you try to search on the Chinese internet for the financial statements of Minimax AI and see what results it returns me? It's not stopping though, it's still typing. Oh.
There you go. There we go. I think we are streaming.
Okay.
I guess it's like kind of delayed. Test. You want to try to?
Yeah.
Wait, let me.
Give me a link. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
See it.
We're live. Finally.
Yes.
Can I?
Honestly, I was just observing how you were interacting with the computers, and it's pretty cool how you code and stuff. It just seems like you're so familiar with the processes. Like
I
and
am.
like copying code and pasting it, and you like know exactly what you need to do, which I think just takes some time to get used to, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the what's fun about it is like it's novel, you know, but I don't know how long like I'll find it interesting or anything. Like I might get bored of it.
Let's
Okay.
get food at that Xinjiang place
Sure.
around the corner. I think that one's pretty good, and they're open now.
Ready when you are.
Go.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm actually recording my screen too. That's fun.
All right. Well, I'm gonna stop this podcast or whatever it is if it's fully.
Haha.